Well, with us now, Michele Tafoya, Republican Minnesota Senate candidate and former NFL sideline reporter. It's great to see you a whole different way. I'm used to seeing you out there covering the sports, but this is a state where the GOP hasn't won a statewide race since 2006. So how confident are you ahead of tomorrow? What's the last-minute game plan for you?
Well, in those last 20 years, this state has traveled 100 miles per hour in the wrong direction. And Minnesotans are worried about it, very, very worried about it. And look, it's happened under the leadership of, single party rule, under the establishment candidates, the career politicians who have been in office that have brought us to a place that your reporter just described, a place where a lot of people are embarrassed by our state, the fraud, all of the crime, all of the things that are going wrong in education, the taxes. It's an embarrassment right now, particularly the fraud. So we feel very good about bringing those people into our campaign and into our tent, as it were, and running through the tape and winning this thing, certainly tomorrow and all the way into November. The career politicians haven't done their jobs. We tried it their way. It didn't work. Let's try another way.
Michele, Bernie Sanders, he is weighing in on the race. Here's what he had to say about the Democrats.
I think it's going to be a tight race. I hope very much that Peggy wins. I think what we're seeing in Minnesota, Margaret, in Michigan, and all across this country is that people understand that we're living with an economy that is rigged. You have working families, 60% of our people living paycheck to paycheck. People can't afford groceries, housing, healthcare, basic necessities of life. And at the same time, they're seeing the richest people in this country become even richer. People are tired of the status quo politics and establishment policies. They want real change, and Peggy Flanagan is about bringing about real change.
So, Michele, who do you think will come out victorious here in this race, and how do you think you will do in the general?
Let me first just say it's rich, pun intended, for Bernie Sanders to say that people are getting richer. And, Peggy Flanagan helped get a lot of those people richer. You know who she helped make rich? All the fraudsters. $9 billion of our taxpayer money went into the hands of criminals. And now they're going to say, oh, the rich are getting richer. And it's astonishing to me that neither Peggy Flanagan nor Angie Craig has addressed this fraud, which is just the elephant in the room in Minnesota. Neither one has addressed it. And you know what, as far as who's going to win or who I'm going to face, it doesn't matter to me. Both of those candidates have serious flaws. Angie Craig has failed us in the Congress. She has voted against the Farm Bill. She whipped votes against the Farm Bill when agriculture is the backbone of this state's economy. And she wanted to vote against it because she didn't like the moderate tweaks to SNAP to try to prevent fraud in SNAP. We've had fraud in SNAP in this state and all throughout this state, but she didn't want to do that. And then you've got Peggy Flanagan, who's been at the center of this fraud and has yet to acknowledge that or even address it. Come on, career politicians, those two are career politicians. I'm the only outsider here. I want to bring courage and common sense back to this state.
Well, I've been in that state basically since I was born. I'm there every single summer, went to high school in the summers there and worked there as a political reporter. And I know that that you certainly have a lot of support up in the northern part of Minnesota, central and northern. But the folks up there face very different issues than the people, clustered there around the Twin Cities or even St. Paul or even St. Cloud. How do you do that? Because those are the ag people. Those are the normal folks. How do you get them to come out in enough of a wave that you can beat back challenges from the cities?
Hey, we've got support all over this state. Our message is resonating, and I know that in a couple ways. Number one, we have had record-breaking fundraising. First quarter, second quarter, record-breaking. In the second quarter, we beat out our Democrat opponents in terms of fundraising. That is because people are enthusiastic about this race. They want to see, as you described it, a normal person win. And so, they're getting in and they're putting their money where their mouth is. So, look, we can talk to everybody, and I've talked to plenty of people in the cities as well. And you know this environment clearly. But they feel like they are without a home in politics. Come on over. There is nothing wacky about our side of the aisle, at least not where I'm concerned. I'm going to work for Minnesotans. I'm not going to do this because I want to become some career politician. I am not desperate to be a politician. I am desperate to see this state and this country resist this leftward lurch towards socialism. And so I'm here to fight for Minnesota. We deserve that.
Well, as a former NFL sideline reporter, we have to ask you about the debate over trans athletes in women's sports. Your opposing primary candidate, Royce White, says he's going to declare for the 2027 WNBA draft. He would be the second former pro to test the league's policy on trans athletes. What do you make of that announcement?
Yeah, and my friend Ennis Cantor-Freedom is the first one to say it. And I think you know, people can say this is a gimmick, it's a stunt, but what it does do is force the issue. The WNBA has a decision to make here. They're either a women's league, which is why the W is before the NBA, or they're not a women's league. And I had the great pleasure, in addition to the privilege of covering the NFL for many years, I covered the inaugural season, the first 3 or 4 seasons of the WNBA. I was one of the 3 play-by-play voices. I worked with Reggie Miller on a telecast covering that league. And it was all about celebrating the talents of women who had worked their way. And here Sophie Cunningham is one brave soul who's decided to come out and say, let's keep this league for women, and let's define women as, you know, chromosomes define us, and let's keep it to that. And the league has really been wishy-washy on this. The coaches have been wishy-washy. So force the issue. Make them make a statement. I guess they're going to have to define what a woman is.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Michele Tafoya, thanks so much for your time and good luck.
It's good to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. You bet.